Shalom, shalom, family, and welcome once again to Just a Word Shorts. And this is our relatively short video channel on which we feature videos about little things that most people ignore. And this is the channel where you can get the little things that are important that you might not hear everywhere. Today we are going to be looking at Babylonian entitlement, the impact of Babylonian entitlement on our salvation. What does it mean? What do we mean by Babylonian entitlement? What does this do for us? And how does this impact our salvation? Watch this very important video. Entitlement. The meaning of entitlement. We're going to see what entitlement has to do with us today and with us and our quest to attain unto Mount Zion. So the meaning of entitlement, the fact of having a right to something. So if you have a right to something, it means you're entitled. For example, full entitlement of fees and maintenance should be offered. It's very simple. Similar, it also means a right, prerogative, claim, title, license, permission, dispensation, privilege, or liberty. But that is not the one that we are most focused on. Entitlement also means the amount to which a person has a right, or annual leave entitlement. Similar words, allowance, allocation, allotment, quota, ration, grant, limit. Now here is the meaning that we are concerned with. The belief that one is inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. This is the one I want you to rivet. Rivet in your minds. The belief that you are inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. People call it a sense of entitlement. So if I believe that because, and let me tell you one of the biggest errors. When you go into Christianity, one of the biggest things that they tell us is that they teach us that you will be blessed. So you enter into Christianity with the intent of getting blessings. Your first prerogative is not to serve the Most High, but it is to get blessings. So you think that you are deserving of blessings simply because you turn and decide that you want to serve the Most High. So because you decide to serve the Most High, you are now deserving of the Most High's blessings. And you will look on another person and say, oh, the Most High's blessing so and so. Oh, he has a new car and he bought one last year and he has bought another one this year. So you think you deserve special treatment because you are following the Most High. Just an example. Just get it in your mind. The belief that you are inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. That is what we are going to focus on. So let's look at the entitlement deception of Babylonian Christianity, of modern religion. We're going to look at entitlement that is used in Christianity and entitlement that is even used in the Hebrew Israelite movement. We're using both of them as examples because before us, these are the two most obvious ones before us that our people are deceived in. Of course, there's also Islam, but I cannot speak on that which I do not know. I do not know enough about Islam to speak about their entitlement. I'll speak about those that are before me. So, entitlement, deception of Babylonian Christianity. All of these things keep us away from Zion. All you have to do is believe. That is one of it. So that is entitlement. So as long as you believe, guess what? You're entitled to the kingdom. You see how simple these people throw us off. And so Christians who believe this do not really focus on righteousness, do not focus on perfection. They will tell us, oh, I forgot even this one. Yeah, I forgot, even this is the biggest one and I forgot about it. The law was a burden. So Jesus Christ came and fulfilled the law for us so that we do not have to do the law. Man, I heard a young man say that the other day and it pained my heart. I just hissed my teeth and just turned away the thing. Yeah? Entitlement. So we are entitled. Because we say we believe in JC, all of a sudden now, we are free to do whatever we want to do because we say we believe in him. As long as you're a Christian, you're going to heaven. Entitlement again to the destination. So we don't have to ask our way to Zion. And this is one of the things why we do not want to move and leave from where we are, because of these entitlement that is in the back of our minds, programmed in the back of our minds, and we do not realize it. So we sit pretty. We don't have to do anything. He has done it all for us. Another one, as long as you're a Christian, you will be raptured. Raptured to heaven, of course. Entitlement. So you're entitled to your destination. You don't have to do anything. Ask which way to which Zion that. Which way to which Zion? Why do I have to ask any way to Zion? And I have Christ. That's what they think. Another one of the deception is spiritual Israel. So now I am spiritual Israel. I am now an Israelite. I have become an Israelite. Because I say I believe in JC or Yahusha or whomever, I become a spiritual Israelite. All the battles that the Most High had with his people and with this generation, it's forgotten. It is now me. Entitlement. True Israel is no more. Entitlement. So guess what? I am now entitled to be Israel. In the book of Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 35 to 36, the Most High swore that as long as there is the sun and the moon and the ordinances of the sun and the moon are there, Israel will not cease from being a nation before him forever. So that destroys all of that. All you have to do is to go to church and pay your tithes. You're good. And say you believe in Jesus. You're good. You are entitled to the kingdom. Hey. Another one. If you're not being blessed, something is wrong. So if you're not being physically blessed with material things, something is wrong. You see that God is different from Yahuwah? Because you get all of that with the worship of God. But what did Yahuwah himself say? Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So if you are not being blessed, something is wrong. It's loving the world. Anyway, sow a seed for your blessing. If you're not being blessed, go and sow a seed. If you sow a seed, then you are entitled to be repaid by the Most High. Entitlement of Christianity. Nothing is wrong if you go after riches. As long as you have JC and you worship God, you can go after riches. Nothing is wrong with that. So they go and they lust after everything, thinking that they will be raptured anyway to heaven. Pastor is entitled to live very, very comfortable. He is entitled, because he's a pastor, to live very, very comfortable. I was speaking earlier about the affluence of that pastor that I was hearing about. Yes? So, that pastor is entitled to live comfortably, simply because he is a pastor. Hebrew Israelite has their own entitlements. Yes? Because, as our brother always said, this is Christianity 2.0. It is religion. That is why we shun religion. We are followers of the way of Yahushua HaMashiach. Through his way. Not the followers of a religion. Our way has none of these. Our way is following Yahushua unto death. Walking as he walked. Obeying as he obeyed. Following his instruction, his commandments, and his Father's commandments. Very simple. Hebrew Israelite entitlement. All you have to do is keep the law. Hey, we hear that so many times. Hey, IUIC. One of the biggest groups. All you have to do is keep the law. Here's another one. So if you keep the law, you're entitled to the kingdom. Here's another one. And by the way, these groups, most of them do not focus on Zion. I think one that I know of is focused on Zion away from the United States is, what's it, GOCC? Something like that. Is it GOCC? Yeah. They have their eyes, I think, focused on the land of Africa. But the others, they don't really focus on leaving the land because of all of these entitlements. That's how dangerous entitlements are. All Israel shall be saved. So as long as you're an Israelite, because he made a promise to the nation of Israel, as long as you're an Israelite, you will be saved. Error. entitlement error. So guess what? Our brothers live their lives kind of like sinners, but sinners who taught the word and speak the word and argue the word and preach the word because they think they are entitled because they are Israelites. Hey, you have no idea. Yahuwah. I am Israelite, so I belong to the Most High. Let's just say along the same line. The Most High is going to come and get me out of Babylon. So because I'm an Israelite and I'm in Babylon, you have to read Isaiah. The Most High said, flee out of the midst of Babylon. He says, remove out of the land of the Chaldeans. Go out from Babylon. Okay? So that entitlement is getting people, and not only Hebrew Israelites, many, many believers have this thing, that the Most High is going to come and get them out of Babylon. We have several different teachings, videos explaining this, using scriptures to explain that this is not so. When it's time for Babylon, it's we who have to voluntarily come out, because Babylon is sweet, Babylon is nice. And the Most High works by faith. Without faith, it is impossible to please him. He wants to see which one of us love him enough to be able to leave the trappings of Babylon, the sweetness, niceness of Babylon. Which one of us are willing to elect to leave and to come and serve him? And by the way, leaving Babylon alone is nothing. It is just the beginning. It's righteousness. If you leave Babylon and you're not in righteousness, not pursuing righteousness, not walking righteousness, the Most High is going to kick you out. He's going to reject you. Yahuwah does not play. This entitlement thing, it does not work with him. You have to walk in his obedience, in his righteousness. Number 5, the Most High is going to come and zap me into the new covenant. This is one of the teachings of our brothers. We are not in the new covenant yet, but in the end, the Most High is just going to come and is just going to make us know him and take away our sins, and nothing anymore. Nothing can change. We cannot sin anymore. Entitlement. And because of that, they act as if they are in the old covenant. They walk in unrighteousness. They walk in unholiness, in all sorts of abominable things, acting as if there's no difference between them and sinners most of the time. I don't see any difference between most. When I watch, I keep watching, and I say, what's the difference between them and sinners? In their demeanor. I have watched these people for years, and I keep watching them, and brothers have criticized me, but I watch them to get an understanding. And I can't see the difference between them and sinners. Why? Entitlement. Only Israelites shall be saved. So because I'm an Israelite, salvation is only for me. I am entitled to salvation. Entitlement. The Most High does not work that way. Yes? Another one, no Edomites will be saved. So because Edomites have persecuted us, they believe none will be saved. I'm an Israelite, I will be saved no matter what, but no Edomites will be saved. You are going to get the surprise of your lives. Yeah? The good news is only to be preached to Israelites. That's another entitlement again. The gospel is only for Israelites. All of these things are going to keep us from Zion. In the book of 1 Thessalonians, I think chapter 2, it says, filling up their sins always, forbidding us to speak to the Gentiles that they might be saved. All of these things keep us from the kingdom. So Babylon's corrupt system of entitlement has corrupted us. Before I deal with Babylon's system, let me speak a little bit about us as believers with entitlement. You see, when we come into the way, this entitlement thingy is killing us. Killing us. I have been with believers, and trust me, entitlement. You see, even people who have said they have fled out of the midst of Babylon, entitlement. They believe, some believe, that, I've made a sacrifice, I've fled out of Babylon, I have given up this, and I've done that. That doesn't impress the Most High. Unless It is accompanied by pure humility, pure righteousness and order. So we fled out of Babylon. And the experience to try to get people to hold on to righteousness is very, very, very difficult. Because people think that they are entitled because of what they have done. Because of what they have done, then there's a little slack that the Most High will, give them to be able to live their lives a certain way. That is not it. We are to seek righteousness before we come out of Babylon and continue to pursue righteousness even harder than that we have come out. That is how it is. I had experience with entitlement again with believers on a different front. Believers battling this. I think we're going to deal with it. Where am I? Let me see. I have to relay this. On our new channel, Just a Word Shorts, which is growing very, very, very fast and getting a whole lot of views, comments. I noticed one thing. Most of the problems that we have with women coming on to teach, with people coming on to teach, is women. The women giving the most problems. And I'm saying these women don't have any respect for the Most High's word. Entitlement. As soon as we become believers, we come with the way that we learned in Babylon. Let me show you, because I have to give this one first to explain this part about the woman. This article is entitled "A Sense of Entitlement from Childhood to the Workplace." And it says, entitlement, this is from a young man. I think he was about 23 years old when he wrote this. From Virginia, University of Virginia, it seems. Entitlement is a key component of narcissism, says Martin. It is basically the belief that you deserve more resources, more consideration, more privileges and rewards than other people. Narcissists and entitled individuals can make good first impressions. They are confident in their abilities and skills, which means that they tend to emerge into leadership roles or force themselves into leadership roles. The problem is that they are also selfish. They make subpar team players and collaborators because their behaviors and decision-making are geared to serving their self-interest, and this young man could not be any wiser or more to the point than has been my experience in this world. Yes? As long as you believe that you deserve more than others, then you will become narcissistic. You will give a good first impression. When people get to know you, they say, oh, why is a nice person, such a this. But when those desires now of that entitlement, when you start feeling grumblish and start grumble that I deserve this and I this, that it says you are going to be confident in your skills and abilities. And you're going to emerge into leadership roles, which is these women that I'm telling you about. These women now want to come and to teach. Why? Because Babylon has taught the woman that she is equal to, or even more important than the man. When you come into the way, you have to understand the Most High's ways is not your ways, is not our ways. The ways that we grew up in Babylon is the opposite of the Most High. So what we learned in Babylon, we have to come into the way, the opposite way. But what do these women do? They come in the same way. They come in, they can talk to any man, quarrel with any man, argue with any man at any time. They come into the way and do the same. If you are listening to this out there, listen to me carefully. You are sinning against the Most High if you do that. You cannot see a servant of the Most High out there putting out the words of the Most High. You as a woman go out there disrespecting that person. Arguing, not only arguing, disrespecting, talking down to the person as if and bringing scriptures and what is that? That is the way of Babylon. That is not the Most High way. He said in 1 Timothy 2, I forbid a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man. And guess what they do? They say the man is the husband. Because one of the meaning is husband, but it also means any man. And common sense tells you it has to be any man. Why? If it is only your husband you must not teach or usurp authority over, you are telling us that the Most High is giving you permission to go and teach any man and usurp authority over any man. As a woman, that is impossible. The Most High does not want you to teach nor usurp authority over any man at all. Because the Most High's authority is through the man. Do not let Babylon's entitlement allow you to think that no, and guess what? These women, they forget everything about the word. This word that I'm telling you is one that is tried and it is said over and over again, a woman to teach nor usurp authority over the man. He never said authority over your husband. And they forget that. And they blast. And they blast. Hey. But I'm starting to utilize the block, hide the user from the channel. The user comes there and is all arguing and out of line. I save that person from sinning by blocking them. I'm telling you. Because the Messiah said he speaks to them in parables. Because seeing they see not, neither do they hear, neither do they understand. In other words, and he said to the disciples, because it is given for you to know, but for them it is not given to know. So if someone proves that it's not given to them to know, hey, they're out of here. So the problem is that they are also selfish. All they care about is their own concerns. They make subpar team players and collaborators. And I remember one person that, again, along with that same thing come to mind. One person that I encountered in my life was adamant that the head of the man is Hamashiach. So the assembly is not his head. That means he can be in the assembly, and because he has a wife, he can say or do anything. The assembly does not have anything to do with his wife. He has the authority over there. So you're going to have an assembly with the big assembly. Then you're going to have him and his wife as an assembly within an assembly. That makes no sense. Entitlement. So because I'm a husband, I am now entitled to be a rebel, to do anything that I want to do. Entitlement. I think entitlement is destroying us. It is one of those unseen things that is destroying us and we don't know. So the problem is that they are also selfish. They make subpar team players. Why? They do not want to be part of a team because they are entitled. So they just want what they want for themselves, and you can stay with your thing. They make subpar team players and collaborators because their behaviors and decision-making are geared to serving their self-interests. So it's just me and my interests. I don't care about you. You go and do your thing. I will do my thing. So here's how Babylon has used this to corrupt us. And this is what has caused the modern believer to be so corrupted with entitlement. because we grew up in it. And when we grew up in it, guess what? Most of us are not truly converted and become new creatures. We come into the way and we are the same old persons. We have not changed. Look how Babylon corrupts us. We're going to look at United States entitlements in the US. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, unemployment insurance. These are all the things. As long as you're an American, you're liable to partake of some of this. SNAP, formerly known as the Food Stamp Program. SSI, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, TANF. The School Lunch Program. The Children's Health Insurance Program, CHIP. The Earned Income Tax Credit. And the refundable component of the child tax credit. These are just examples. Now, when you grow with all of these things, you grow, and that's why Americans are like that, proud and entitled, because they grow with this as a part of them. Now, when Americans come into the way now, they start serving, they come into the way with this entitlement. And when they come, in order for them to truly serve, bow down, and truly serve, they cannot. Because they are always looking out for themselves and always telling themselves, as long as I do this, then this is going to happen. When you come into the way of the Most High, it's a total transformation. It's a total transformation. Now, the reason we are talking about Zion and entitlement, it is that if we are entitled, it will get us into trouble. We cannot enter into the land. The children of Israel that wandered in the wilderness for 40 years, they did not enter because of entitlement. Because when you are entitled, you are weak. You cannot fight battles, spiritual battles. Your faith is weak. Because you are relying on something that you are to get. And if you don't see it, you get miserable and flustered. You got to understand, if you don't see it, you get miserable. And you cannot perform in the way of Yahweh without true faith. So when the children of Israel, when Moses sent the 12 spies to spy out the land, and that is in Numbers 14, you can go and read it. We won't go through it today. When Moses sent the spies, 2 came back with a good report. 10 came back with a bad report because they're saying, oh, Moses, the men are so tall. They are the descendants of the Anakims. And when the rest of the people heard that, man, the people started grumbling and started murmuring and said, oh, you brought us here to kill us. What is this and this and... Because they felt that the Most High carried them through for 40 years. Now we are going into the land. It must be smooth sailing. I want you to listen to me and think. Now that it's time to go into the land, it must be smooth sailing. And because it is not smooth sailing, people start to grumble. And people start to doubt. And people start to think, hey, we shouldn't have left out of Egypt in the first place. Why did we go? Why did we do this? Why does he have this? Why do they carry us through the land? You know what? Probably we will not need to touch on this Numbers 14. But it's so long I never wanted to do it. Numbers 14. I just touch on it to understand what I am speaking about. The people do what? The people rebel. When you are in an entitlement frame of mind, you will rebel because you are not getting what you think you are entitled for. Because you are not getting what you think you are entitled for, you are going to easily rebel. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. That was because of the bad report. And all the children of Yasharal murmured against Moses and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said unto them, Would Allua that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would Allua we had died in this wilderness? Simple because they felt entitled to enter into the land now. It's the same entitlement that is upon the people who refuse to come out of Babylon, saying that Yahweh is going to come for them. It's the same entitlement for people who refuse to flee out of the midst of Babylon, to seek out Zion, to seek out the land of Zion. Same entitlement. Sitting back, expecting everything to just come into their laps. But the Most High told you and showed us every step along the way is a struggle. So there's no way along the road that we must ever sit and think that we are entitled. Me, for one, I can tell you about myself. Never want to think that I am entitled. When things happen to me, I always say to myself, you don't deserve anything good. I have to keep reminding myself that. And it is the truth. Because when I remember, when I'm now preaching this word, when I'm now teaching this word, and I remember my evil life that I live, so what do I deserve? That is why I have to consider myself a slave to the Most High. Because I have no right to a comfortable life. I have no right to an easy life. When you get that in your head, people, it's the opposite of the Christian way that says, I'm a Christian, so I deserve to get this. When you have that in your mind, you'll become a better believer. You will not have the entitlement, and you'll be able to walk in Yahuwah's ways. Not that I'm telling you that I'm walking in Yahuwah's ways, but you'll have a better opportunity or a better ability because you are not leaning on your own strength and you are not taking Yahuwah for granted. And all the children of Yashral murmured against Moses and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said unto them, Would Allua that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would Allua we had died in the wilderness? It stayed with the leaders as well. So, for example, you say you have fled out of Babylon, and certain things happen, and some things that happen. What are they going to do? They're going to blame. It's Chazak. He told us to leave. He told us to flee. Yeah? Entitlement. Not knowing that when you flee, that is where your own battle begins. Because he told us in the book of Ezekiel chapter 20, he's going to purge out from among you the rebels. He's going to plead with you face to face. You have your own battles. I can only bring the word. You have to fight your own battles. You have to make your own changes. I plead, the Most High pleads with you through me. And when he pleads with you through me, if you do not adjust and make adjustments, the Most High is going to act. Verse 3, And wherefore hath Yahuwah brought us into this land to fall by the sword? Now they are blaming the Most High. Big mistake. And wherefore hath Yahuwah brought us into this land to fall by the sword, and that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt? So they want to go back to where they came from. They want to go back where they came from. They have forgotten everything about leaving Egypt. They have forgotten everything about leaving Babylon. They want to go back because where? Back is more comfortable than here because entitlement. At least when I was there, I could do this. When I was there, I could do that. Entitlement. And they said one to another, Let us make a captain, and let us return into Egypt. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Yasharal. So Moses and Aaron, they fell on their faces. They don't argue, they don't complain. They fell on their faces to Yahuwah, who is the one who is in charge. And Yahusha the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes. And they spake unto all the company of the children of Yasharal, saying, the land which we passed through to search it is an exceeding good land. These are the people who have the good report. These are the people with faith, who do not look on the negatives, but look on the positives, ignoring the negatives, because they don't think they are entitled. They think that they have to press on for what they want. They think they have to fight on for what they want. And that is what the Most High does. He made them fight all the way through. When they went into the land, what did Joshua had to do? Joshua still had to fight and clear out the Amalek, the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Perizzites, and the heights and the heights and the heights and the heights. Right to the very end, you have to fight to the very end. No entitlement gets you there. It's no sitting and relaxing and thinking that everything is going to just come in your lap. No, it's a fight. Verse 8, if Yahuwah delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. You see, if he delights in us, if we do what we need to do. Only rebel not ye against Yahuwah, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defense is departed from them, and Yahuwah is with us. Fear them not. But all the congregation bade stone them with stones, and the esteem of Yahuwah appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Yasharal. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be ere they believe me for all the signs which I have shown them? I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them, and will make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they, and we know the rest of it, how it goes. Moses begged for them, but the Most High said, let's see the pronouncement. Verse 20, and Yahuwah said, I have pardoned according to thy word, but as truly as I live, saith Yahuwah, all the earth shall be filled with the splendor of Yahuwah, because all those men which have seen my splendor and my miracles, which I did in Mitzrayim and in the wilderness, and have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice, surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoke me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he had another Ruach with him, not the Ruach of entitlement, he had another Ruach, and hath followed me fully, him will I bring into the land wherein he went to possess it, and his seed shall possess it. Notice something here. All the men who have seen my miracles and heard my voice, these 10 times. So the Most High is merciful. He forgives. He avoids doing anything to them. But there comes a time when it's over. So do we know that the next time is our 10th time? We have to change from now. We have to stop this entitlement and strive, press towards the mark. The Most High said they will not enter into the land. So with our entitlement people and our spirit of entitlement, we will not enter into Zion. We cannot see Zion if we have entitlement. If we believe that just because we are going to get this because. If I am here thinking, oh, because these words have been given to me, these are not my words. It is not because I'm good, or because I'm bright, or because I'm intelligent, or because I'm spiritual. It is because the Most High chose me to do this. It is his words. It is he who puts these things on my heart to say. It has nothing to do with me and my ability. Yes? If I am to say that is because Kazakh is such and such, and I let down my guard and I do certain things and sin against the Most High, woe be unto me. People, we have to wake up. This entitlement thing. We have to be like Shaul. And we got to go. Every week we're going here. Why are we using the same scriptures every week? People must say, oh, Kazakh doesn't know anything. He just keeps using the same scriptures. They are powerful and they are relevant. Philippians chapter 3. Philippians chapter 3. I thought we would be without it this week, but we can't, it seems. Philippians chapter 3. Entitlement here. Finally, my brethren, rejoice in Yahuwah. To write the same things to you, to me indeed is not grievous, but for you it is safe. Beware of dogs, beware of evil workers, beware of the concision. For we are the circumcision which worship Alua in the flesh, in the ruach. What here? Let me say it again. Erase that. For we are the circumcision which worship Alua in the ruach, and rejoice in Hamashiach Yahusha, and have no confidence in the flesh. This is entitlement. We have no entitlement, no confidence in the flesh. Though I might also have confidence in the flesh, though I might think that I am entitled. If any man thinketh that he hath whereof he might trust in the flesh, I more. Circumcise the 8th day of the stock of Yahshua. Now this is Shaul telling us, if you think you are entitled, listen to me now, and know that I am more entitled than you. But in seeking Yahusha, I kick all of this behind. This has to be nothing. Circumcise the 8th day of the stock of Yasharal, of the tribe of Benjamin, and Hebrew of the Hebrews, as touching the law, a Pharisee, concerning zeal, persecuting the assembly, touching the righteousness which is in the law, blameless. All of that, what a resume. What does Shaul say next? But what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Hamashiach. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss, for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahusha, my master, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Hamashiach, and be found in him, not having mine own righteousness, which is of the law, but that which is through the faith of Hamashiach, the righteousness which is of Alua by faith, that I may know him, and the power of his resurrection, and the fellowship of his sufferings, being made conformable unto his death, if by any means I may attain unto his resurrection. And here's what he does now. No entitlement. This is what he does. Verse 13. Brethren, I count myself not to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind. I'm not entitled to anything. Forget all those things. And reaching forth unto those things which are before. Zion is before. Babylon is behind. My life in that world, that was the past. No, I have to seek out Zion. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Alua in Hamashiach, Yahusha. That is what we do. Forget those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before, we press forward through Yahusha Hamashiach, who will lead us and guide us into Zion. Entitlement, thinking that we deserve anything at all. Let me get to the definition again that we are using. The belief that one is inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. If we believe that, we will not be able to be like true believers. We will not be able to deny self. If any man come after me, let him deny himself. Entitlement is the opposite of denying self. Entitlement is thinking that self deserves this. Denying self is an acceptance that I have nothing to look forward to except the kingdom. Let me go to denying self. Matthew 16:24, the opposite of entitlement. And many people do not realize that they had not denied self. That they had not denied self simply because they think they are entitled. Then said Yahusha unto his disciples, If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his stake and follow me. So denying self is a total rejection of the self. And I like how it says it in the Thea lexicon. Let me give you the reading in the Thea lexicon. Deny himself. The word deny is to affirm that one has no acquaintance or connection with someone. So if you affirm that you have no connection with someone, it's affirm that you have no connection with yourself. Another meaning, to forget one's self, to lose sight of oneself and one's own interest. That is denying self. So there is no entitlement there. You don't think you're entitled or you deserve anything because you are such and such, or because you have done such and such. This is what we're trying to say. Because I have done this, because I have given up this, because I give to the poor, because I flee out of Babylon, because I am a good singer and I sing for the Most High, because I am a good preacher, I preach for the Most High, because I am a good teacher, I teach for the Most High, because I do this, because I have given up this, because I have given up my job to serve the Most High, because I have given up this, because. When you deny yourself, none of that matters. And we have to reach to that point, people, or else Babylon and its entitlement that it has input into us through the training that it has given us from birth, and through the training that it gives us through how the system and the world is run. When we do not deny self, we will be swept away into entitlement and we will lose our way to Zion. So only people who can enter Zion are those who deny themselves, which is synonymous with the Most High, with the Messiah saying, if any man come after me, let him deny himself. And in the book of Lucas, let's go to the book of Lucas, because we want to get the understanding of truly what it means, entitlement. In the book of Luke, what was it? Luke 21 or Luke 14? And there went, verse 25, and there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, If any man come to me, and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever doth not bear his stake, and come after me, cannot be my disciple. If you're entitled and you're just looking around for some nice things, for things that make you feel good, cannot be his disciple. Yes? So likewise, verse 33, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. So forsaking all you have is a rejection of entitlement. Even what you have, your rejection of entitlement is not even only with what you think you might get, but also what you literally have, you reject. This is how you overcome entitlement. This is how you enter the kingdom, my people.